This video is brought to you by Raycon. How's it going, folks? I'm back with a quick vid for the new Scooby-Doo and Courage the Cowardly Dog crossover, which is a crossover that, I'll be real, was a very pleasant surprise. Now, Scooby-Doo and the gang are no strangers when it comes to crossovers. They've been doing it practically for the entire franchise. It's like one of their iconic things at this point. But some of these crossovers, we got some winners. Some of these crossovers, we got some losers. The wrestling, for example, John Cena. What was that about? But Courage the Cowardly Dog? That actually makes a lot of sense. I feel so dumb. I mean, I grew up with cartoons. I grew up watching Scooby-Doo. I grew up watching Courage. And it never occurred to me where I'm like, two talking cowardly dogs that deal with the supernatural. Of course they would be friends. Now, I'll be real with you guys. Full-on disclaimer. Courage was like a show I watched because I was an animation nerd, so I'd watch anything on Cartoon Network or whatever. But Courage was one of my least favorite of the shows. I know. Hear me out, okay? Hear me out. As I've gotten older, I have come to appreciate it more. It is rough around the edges on purpose. It's supposed to look a bit more, I say crude, not crude, a bit more cartoony with expressions, and I wouldn't say gross, but like, it's a horror show. It's about monsters and aliens and all these horrific things that Courage runs into while trying to protect Muriel and Eustace. It was a turn off kind of to me, but then I started to like it more as I've gotten older. I'm like, Courage, yeah, that's a pretty good show. It's got a lot of heart. So despite me saying like, it wasn't my favorite, that doesn't mean I don't know a lot about the show, because that's just the kid that I was growing up. While watching this movie, I was like, wow, there's a lot of callbacks to previous Courage stuff, like iconic characters with Fred or the Yeti, the General, the Lieutenant. I was here for it. I'm like, hey, there's a picture of Fred in the mansion. Not Fred from YouTube, the other Fred, the one who's probably a serial killer. So what's the synopsis for the film? It's kind of out there. Scooby and the gang show up to nowhere. Scooby's being summoned by some kind of like mind control, I think. It's like because, I'll explain it here. By the way, borderline spoilers, kind of. Though I say spoilers, it's not that this movie has some kind of like, whoa, that plot blew my mind. I'm on the edge of my seat. It doesn't. You got the basics of like, there's a mystery going on. We have to solve it. There's some craziness in nowhere. The gang's trying to help out Courage and Muriel and Eustace. That's the crux of this entire narrative. So it's not like the story is like grasping you where it's like, wait till we get to the third act and we reveal who killed Courage's mom. Oh God, I wouldn't have the heart for that. Actually, I take it back. I don't want to know that. You got the gang out in the middle of nowhere, meeting up with Muriel, Eustace, Courage, saying while they're out there that Scooby was like basically spirited away out to the cabin. They find out that there's some kind of like cicada infestation. They meet some mayor who's like, I'm the mayor of nowhere, which Muriel's like, oh, I did not know we had a mayor of nowhere. And then just follow this plot that leads to how there's like this dark matter. Like the meteor that wiped out the dinosaurs, the dark matter that was inside of it has been like underground in nowhere. And that is why there's so many monsters that pop up in this area. It's because of like this evil dark matter. That's kind of cool. We get some like world building for nowhere, which is like, hey, wasn't expecting that. Courage and Scooby and Shaggy are running from monsters, trying to solve mysteries, trying to find out what's going on, protecting Muriel. It's got all the hallmarks of like fun Scooby-Doo nonsense and Courage the Cowardly Dog nonsense. Velma's like iPad is like flirting with Courage's computer. Guys, I'm gonna be real with you. That looks like intercourse to me. I think he's uploading some files to her USB port. So as far as the synopsis goes, again, I'm not saying this in a bad way where the plot isn't interesting, because it's not really like grasping to me, but that's fine. I like the story. It was cute. I wasn't expecting to have my mind blown with the plot. I did not. All I wanted was to see some cute interactions and some spoopiness with Courage and Scooby and Shaggy and the rest. That's what I wanted. That's what I got. I was happy. Now, it definitely feels more like it's a Courage-focused story. which is fine. I actually prefer that. There's this entire thing about like courage is not the absence of fear, and how Shaggy and Scooby are trying to like overcome their fear. And Courage is like, oh, my name's Courage. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. The show's called Courage. And he tries to be courageous in the face of these horrors, and he's afraid, but he still does it for Muriel because he loves her. And I'm like, oh, it all makes sense. I'm 33. How has it taken me this long to figure it out? I'm an idiot. Voice acting was great. It was actually really sad because like the voice actor for Muriel passed away recently, Thea White. So rest in peace to you. And it was like cathartic to see this as your like last performance. We got to see Muriel one more time with her original voice actor before she passed away. So now for Scooby and the gang, which felt more like they were like a supporting cast to Courage, I liked seeing Scooby and Courage work together, run around. There never was any animosity between the two. They were sweet. They almost feel like they were like brothers who were split at birth and now they meet back up and they're trying to help each other out. So that was very cute. The animation, no, it was fine. Some dance scenes. There was a song segment with Eustace singing about like being rich. It was like a rap video or something. That was a bit jarring. I was like, what's happening here? And then there was a dance thing at the end. So overall, as far as like crossovers go, this one actually felt like it made sense. It was fun. It was cute. It was interactions that were enjoyable, good chemistry and dialogue. Once more, I wasn't like on the edge of my seat. It wasn't that this story was like, wow, I can't believe it. When Scooby said the Courage that I am your father, it's like, no, don't get your expectations for some kind of storytelling to that caliber. Just enjoy the crossover. Get your cheesy ham, fan service, and have some fun. Do that, and you also like Scooby-Doo and Courage, then you'll like this movie. So tell me what you all think in the comments, and I will see you all next time. So a big shout out to this video sponsor, Raycon earbuds. I've been rocking my Raycons for like 2 years now, and I've enjoyed them in all kinds of ways. I use them while I'm working out. I use them while listening to music during my hikes. But the main way I've been using them as of late, audiobooks. Oh my God. I've knocked out like 3 audiobooks in like a month thanks to Raycon. Since they're wireless and have a long battery life, they make it easy for me to move around my office, and I never miss a second with my audiobooks. There are some days where I just keep my earbuds in for like 3 hours at a time and just burn through chapters. And since my Raycons can go for up to 8 hours at a time, I never have to worry about inconveniently stopping my audiobooks. They last for my entire workday. Plus, the recharging case is very potent and bumps the charging capacity of my Raycons to 32 hours. That is a lot of power. On top of that, my earbuds fit well in my ears too, and are very comfortable. Raycons even come with earbud gel tips, so you can get that perfect fit for your ears. Also, the sound quality is top-notch, with an excellent bass, and the Bluetooth pairing is fantastic. They also come in a broad variety of colors too, plus a 45-day free return policy too. Raycon is truly disrupting the electronics industry by designing premium wireless audio for half the price and without the compromise. They're doing things differently than other brands out there, from the way they design their products to the way they price them. Raycon holds true to their customers' experience from start to finish. I mean, we're talking about a company that was co-founded by Ray J, and celebrities such as Snoop Dogg, J.R. Smith, and Mike Tyson are obsessed with Raycons. Best of all, Raycons are fairly priced and don't cost an arm and a leg like other brands. But Raycons maintain a high level of sound quality. So click the link down below and go to buyraycon.com/Saberspark to get 15% off your Raycon purchase. Guys, I legit use these like every single day, and I highly recommend them.